What I have here is going to be a variety of stuff. I want to show some of the stuff that I come across, and this is stuff that I'm finding each day in my storage. Now, everybody knows that mail order was very popular in the 70s and up to the 1980s. In fact, it made a resurgence again when wrestling became very popular in the 1980s, like early 80s when WWF. And then all the wrestling magazines had mail order ads in it. So I want to bring back to show you guys some of the stuff I did here. Here's a copy of an ad that it says Monster Size Monster. This is an Honor House ad. You see how it also has the monster size skeleton. Now what they sold in here was not the Boney the skeleton they later sold with the green Frankenstein. This was a jointed skeleton that was, I think the company that used to make it was Beastly. It was 5 feet tall. They still sell them, I think. And Beastly, I don't know if it's still around, but I'm saying it's sold by a company called Amscan, I think it is. And it's like a 5 foot. So here it'll say this 5 foot bones is scary enough at any time, but wait till you see him in the dark. It's basically, it has again the same Boney the Skeleton ad where they used the Perfect Man from, as I told you guys, the original Boney the Skeleton. When they used his image, they used it from a model kit that appeared in Famous Monsters called the Perfect Man. And the model kit has a skeleton like that in the front. So I think Honor House used that same, I know Honor House used that same image throughout all their ads, okay? So here's the Honor House ad, okay? Here's one of my favorite, American Circle Corp. Now, American Circle Corp sold quite a couple of nice things. The Vampire Blood. Look at that. Who doesn't want to see that ad? And then you have here the 25 Lessons in Hypnotism. Those were my two favorite things. The Secret Book Safe. The Magic Brain Calculator. I don't know if any of you guys ever seen one. I think in one of my earlier reviews about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I showed that calculator in one of my reviews. I think it's called the Johnson, but anyway, my original, wherever it is. But one thing I told you guys many times, that what I used to like about this particular company, which the guy who started this company later went on to start Fun Factory with Lou Weiss. And Fun Factory has a lot of the same images, and it's because it's the same guy who designed both companies. But in this thing, what I used to like is, you see, like, let's say if you're reading comics and it's raining outside, it's stormy, this one it looks kind of cozy because it looks like the guy's indoors, and you see the snowstorm tablets there in the top. He's indoors, but you see in the background, like the kid is laughing, but in the background it's like a window kind of thing. And somehow it made me feel cozy, like I was indoors. And so that's one of the things I like about American Circle. Their artwork is phenomenal. If you compare them to Honor House, they're similar, but I think American Circle is a little better in their graphics. But I still love Honor House because Honor House offered me the monsters, you know. Here, now this bank here is called the Haunted House Mystery Bank. This bank originally became popular when it was sold in the 1970s in the Walt Disney in California and Florida, where they sold it for the Haunted Mansion. But it has nothing to do with the Haunted Mansion, but it's a bank that, you know, a ghost comes to the door when you put it up. I actually, over the years, I learned how to repair these banks, and I would buy them, repair them, and resell them. I have right now in my possession probably like 9 of them. Those 9, I have 2 in the original box. But I've learned to repair them. This is for the Haunted House Mystery Bank. There is a version of that bank that was sold in Honor House, and it has a hand comes out of the side. And the reason I know for its existence is because I saw it in a book years ago. As I told in the story, you know, I don't want to make it long now, but I haven't been able to track the one that has the hand. There is one called the Mystery. It's not the long green one that it's called the Frankenstein's hand, or there's quite a few versions. There's also called the Mystery. This one is the same as that house, which is about 8 inches by 8 inches, whatever, and a hand comes out. That's another thing, just like the robot plants I'm trying to look and I never find. Here is, I found this interesting. This is an original Fun Factory envelope that I would use to send orders in. And inside I found 2 original orders I wonder if these people are still around. One is Pamela Silva from Colorado, Carson City, New York. I thought it was Colorado. It's Colorado Street, Carson City, New York. And then the other one is Charles Sweet. I can't even see those, but anyway, they're from Buffalo, New York. And these were orders for the Fun Factory when I used to advertise. And I found the original orders. I have a bunch of I have all the orders I ever got in Fun Factory. I have like 2 shoe boxes filled with envelopes, which is funny. Because you can still see how the people, I mean, who knows. Okay, here is an envelope that I found. And it's addressed to Nastex Industries, which used to be, you know, I've used different names throughout the years. Nastex Industries was actually, when I started the House of the Unusual and I would do mail order, you would get a 15% discount if you had what's called an in-house advertising agency. So Nastex Industry is the one that I registered to use as an advertising agency. So when I ran ads, I would get the 15% discount. And in here is I wonder, well, this is actually an early communication I had with Mr. Wagman from Honor House. You can tell it says Romar Sales. Romar Sales. It's 35 Wilbur Street, but here it says 535 Fifth Avenue, New York. But that was an early communication, a letter I wrote him. I'm surprised that shouldn't be where I found it. That should be with my other collection. Now here is, I don't know, this this is an old postcard that I bought. See, it says Psst, and it has Dracula comes out. Wow, this is old. This is probably early 80s, I think. Not old like in the 70s, but I'm just going through a couple of interesting miscellaneous articles that you guys, you know, would find. Here I see there's this one here for the Fun Factory. This was sent to the Fun Factory when I had the Fun Factory, if you guys can see. Like I said, and this in here, it looks like a catalog tab. This is Innovations. Anyway, this is some product I must have bought from them, but I'm showing you guys. You see how I had the Fun Factory. This is one of the learning early catalog companies I used to deal with, and they would have like hypnotic stuff, like hypnotism. See, and it would fold out, and this is one, actually the original Honor House. Oh yeah, see, all the hypnotism stuff. See, this is cool stuff. I know Todd is probably salivating when he sees this because he likes all this stuff. Yeah, unless he probably has this. And when you smell it, you can still smell that this thing survived the fire. Wow, it's amazing. All these years and you can still smell. Now, this was when I started in mail order. There was a company called More, M-O-R-E, and they showed you that you can make $1,000 a week with your answering machine. And that's actually what started me in mail order. I did this like in 1984, 83, I think. And this is one of their newsletters, Get Rich. It's still funny. It's still, the date on this is January 4, 1992. Oh, okay. It wasn't 80-something, it was 92. I dabbled in, I guess this is just a newsletter, a follow-up that the company would send me. And because I did, you know, sold their stuff for years. Okay, if you guys go into an old Johnson Smith catalog, or actually newer one, they always sold this thing that looked like a flying saucer, and it was called the optical illusion, or oh gosh, I forgot the name of it, but it's supposed to be an optical illusion that you can see what's inside, and it reflects it on top. This is the company here that actually sold them, where I bought them wholesale. So this is April 1989. I don't know if that's even possible to see, but it says April 1989. And let me see if there's a picture here so I can. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. That's what it looked like. See, I bought. Oh gosh, so many of them. And here's an actual. They actually have a real photograph too. The problem with this item is that I think I've sold like 5 out of the 20, 30 pieces I have. Some of them have become so old that the glass faded inside, but they were in the original box. But anyway, that's it. This is vintage artillery. This is when I used to sometimes get duplicate guns and stuff like that. Like, what do you call it? Not guns, but the display guns. The ones like the pirate guns and stuff like that. Does the company use that? This one here. See, I'm finding all this stuff. I'm going through a lot of stuff, man. Stuff I haven't seen in forever. Amazing new money making. Make up to $50,000 in 30 days. This are probably mail order ads and stuff that and it's funny. I saved everything, man. That's why today and sometimes I look through this envelopes like this because I have things in here. Like sometimes I'll slip a Hypno coin or something. In fact, the story of the Hypno coin. I found my original Hypno coin. I called Todd and I'm showing him on the video. Thank God I have the video. But after I showed it to him, it disappeared, man. I don't know where the heck it went. Todd laughs like crazy. Todd Mitchell from the Sea Monkeys, the Sea Monkey King we call him. He laughs because I lost it, but it's I can't find it. It's a little different from all the Hypno coins I've ever seen, but I cannot find it. And this is just ad stuff. Now in here, let's see if I find anything here that. Oh my gosh! Look at this. This is a very old, not super old, but it's. Wow. This is an old, what the heck is this? It's a ticket, I guess, for Looney Tunes, something. This is, I don't know what year it is, but it's a Top Hat Novelty Toys. It's a magic company located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Top Hat. Okay? And guys, this just blew my mind what I have in here. This is an original Johnson Smith. And I think somebody chewed a piece or the pieces in there. 1001 Insults. Here's an original book. Oh, wow. This is interesting. I haven't seen that in ages. But now that I know it's there, I might be able to... I don't know, reproduce it, I guess. I have it. I mean, I reproduced it, but I reproduced the Fun Factory version because Fun Factory had its own. This is Marshall Bourdain's Magic Hat. Marshall Bourdain's 100 Magic Tricks. This is actually the instructions that came inside the Catico, the company. This came inside the TV Magic stuff, but this is more modern. Oh, again. Another original laser pistol plans. If you guys know the Ant Farm, or ever heard of the Spud Gun, potato gun, which I had recently reviewed about a week ago or something like that. Here is an original 1993 Uncle Milton Industries catalog. And here is where I bought the Uncle Milton Ant Farm August of 93, and here is their color catalog that sold the Uncle Milton products, of which, let me look through real quick here, because here's the wholesale list. You see, you guys, here's the Ant Farm. They did one thing that I don't know if it's in here, but they reproduced, oh, here it is. Universal Monsters, back in the day of the 60s and 70s, they had 5 like stand-up figures. And I had a friend of mine who asked me to hold, from the Uncle Milton Company to buy him. I think he bought like 6 dozen of each. He never sold them or took them out, but he must have them open. Whoever sees Famous Monsters will remember those figures. See, let me see if you can get a good view of them there. I have about a dozen of them. They glow in the dark, but they were sold. I don't know if Uncle Milton was not the original of it. I think it was Aurora or something like that. Did them in the early, and Uncle Milton, in this year they reproduced it. So here's the catalog, and I'm glad it's in here because I wasn't sure if this catalog had a picture of those monsters. Okay, so having said, okay, there it goes. So here we have Hank Lee Magic Company. Hank Lee, I know Chuck Caputo knows him, was a magic company, and this was their newsletter. I used to buy from them on occasion, because I always liked to, even at my older age, get mail order stuff. Here is Sterling Magic. This is a 1992 catalog from, this I think is a wholesale catalog, Sterling Magic. It's a company. It was one of the companies that sold. Not a great looking catalog. It's more like a staple piece of whatever. Here, I'm sure Todd would like this. This is an original envelope from TransScience Corporation, if you can see it there. And what this I think is a bill. This is from July of 1993. And this is an invoice. An invoice of TransScience Corporation to the House of Anthony, which is House of the Unusual. But I used to use different names for different things I would advertise in. Oh, here's an original. I have some novelties I found too, and before I actually get to the novelties, let me show you guys. This here is a House of the Unusual catalog. I actually used to send out this catalog with orders, and it kind of has a full page ad, and some of my products there. I have the 7-foot ghost, the 25, the Boney the Skeleton, vampire bat, all the fun stuff that I loved. And this is one of my copies of my original catalog. Oh, here is one of the ads for the 7-foot robot monster plant. Oh, and in comic books there was always a little B, a company that was called LB, and they sold magic tricks and stuff. But anyway, here is an original LB catalog he sent me, I think. I communicated with the guy a couple of times, and he used to sell wooden nickels. And yeah, yep, this is all the stuff he sent me, like original, this thing. And he kept saying, live long every day as your last. Someday you will be right. Live as though every day was your last, and someday you might be right. It's about wooden nickels. And I don't know why he loved wooden nickels so much, but he used to tell me, I would get on the phone with him, and his name LB, he passed away though. And here's the order form, because I guess he actually printed the nickels. I was asking him for like different things, because I know he had original 7-foot Frankensteins and stuff. And I wanted him to sell me whatever he had in stock. And he was a really nice guy. He actually sent me a lot of stuff. And, well, anyway, he passed away, and he was supposed to send me 2 original Frankensteins of the plastic versions. And whoever took over apparently kept them. I paid the money, but I never got anything back. Now, when Honor House became, like I told you guys, they sold to Dave Gallagher. I'm saying Dave, I don't know if that's the exact name, but they sold to the guy that owned the National Enquirer and stuff. And they were selling the guns, those pellet firing pistols in the 1980s. And it went on to like the 2000s. I think they sold it to like 2010. They were still selling them. Well, as we know, Honor House, the first thing they ever sold was a 7-foot, of the Polaris submarine. They sold the 7-foot rocket. Then it was a 7-foot Sherman tank. Then they sold the Polaris submarine, which is the holy grail of mail order. That's the one everybody wants. And over here, they actually, under the name Guaranteed Distributors, if you guys, I don't know if you can see there, Guaranteed Distributors, they sold the 7-foot space shuttle in the back there. It was $14, no longer $6.98. They had the giant-sized dollhouse, and this is actually one of the original catalogs. And if you guys remember this exercise thing, the Gut Buster, yeah, the Gut Buster was forget it. But anyway, got to move a little fast through this here. Here in this envelope, I found one of the original Throw Your Voice, the Ventrilo. It's in here. I don't want to open it because I have a couple products and I want to finish this review. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. But anyway, here I found the original whoopee cushion, an SS Adams version called the Raspberry Cushion. Now, SS Adams used to make it like in a vinyl. This is actually rubber. Here is Glop from SS Adams. Supposed to be like Bird Dew. It's pretty big for Bird Dew, isn't it? But it's supposed to go up there. This is the Vacuum X. This was sold in a lot of mail order companies, including Harriet Carter and all that. This is the one that used to was like to take your pimples out. It's like a little injector thing. Here's one in the original box. The Walk-O-Matic. This is the thing you attach to your belt. Sold by all the mail order companies in the 70s, including Foster Trend, Harriet Carter. I think it even appeared in the Sears and JCPenney catalog. And what this would do is it would measure how far you walk, you know. And it's a round thing. It goes in your belt. And this is the original in the box. I don't want to open it because it looks a little... This is a silent dog whistle, which I've shown before. This, of course, is the famous Stink perfume or Morning Breeze perfume. It's really a perfume bottle that has, when you open it up, it's a stink bomb. Here's one of SS Adams. This is the newer, I think this is the packaging that Kirk Demarais designed for SS Adams. So this is the Mystic Smoke. So that's a lot newer. We have here, this is this is the thing. It's kind of like a thing where it's an envelope. When you take it out, it has like a mouse trap and it hits you in the finger. So it's called Knuckle Duster. Knuckle Duster. Not Buster, Duster. But that's an old novelty. This is probably from the 70s. I have here an interesting envelope. This came from the Conjurer's Crew, the Magic Company. And this was sent to me in 1995. I have a feeling that Chuck would like this. I think it's a newsletter from this company here, if you can look. And it was sent in 1995. It's another thing I found among the thing. Then obviously this is the Ghost Train. This is one of the rides back in the early 90s. This is all stuff I found in one of my boxes. So this again, Ghost Stories. This is Ghost Rides. Of course, here's a picture of my wife and my son, who's 30 now. He was like 4 years old, I think, whatever. This is a glow skeleton that you will put in water and it enlarges. And, oh no, actually no. Throw your glow spooky onto most clean, smooth surfaces. In other words, this is one of like the creepy crawlers, not the creepy crawlers, the wacky wall walkers, whatever it is, the little spiders you would throw in the wall. And this is what it would be, but it's a skeleton. Here you have a book, How to Make Love, from the 1930s. Okay, that's in pretty good condition. Here's a Ripley's Believe It or Not. I got this a few years ago, and I'm sure because I got this in St. Augustine. Now, I want to show you guys, this is one of my original unboxing mysteries, which is, here's one of SS Adams' original book. This usually came in with all the magic sets, 101 magic tricks. Here's another copy of the American Circle Corp. Okay, guys. I'm actually going to show something right now that I'm going to show real quick because it's still in the making. I'm going to let it known. I'm going to expose today the secret, but it's been in the making for some time. I've been lazy on it, but I have to complete it. It's not what I'm about to show you, but I will in a second. This is the my Johnson Smith Ghost that's inside Mail Order Mysteries, but this is where I keep it. It's inside a frame. It's pressurized, and it's there. See? This is a photograph, which I have not taken it out of the packaging since 2011. I'm gonna open it to show the frame what it looks like in about a week or two when I have a chance to pull it out. And I want you guys to see the original Ghost. Here's a picture of me. As I guess you could see, I like more than one thing. I'm here next to my 5, 6, about 7 or 8 Robbie the Robots. Okay. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. I always tell people when they want to start a podcast, the best way of doing it is don't procrastinate, but do it. And I say, call your best friend and record the conversation. That's what I did with Joe. And the reason I'm saying that, because I always wanted a radio station. And this is an old ad from back in the 80s. And I used to look at the radio towers, and I always wanted it. But anyway, what I wanted to show you guys is I've been putting together, this is not the cover, this is the initial. And I already have the finished cover. I don't want to show it just yet, but I'm going to show real quick. It's called The 7-Foot Monster That Never Was. I've already I copyrighted the article, the cover. And it's based on a little kid sitting in his bed, looking, that kid's supposed to be me, by the way, looking at an ad, dreaming of a monster, of what he would get, and then looking at a poster in the wall. So this is a rough draft of the front page of a hardcover book that's going to be printed by me. It's going to be published by me, I mean. Dave Haversat, Chuck Caputo, Joe. Joe is the writer for the book. And Todd, they're all involved in completing this book. It's going to rival Mail Order Mysteries. And that book, I think I'm calculating probably March of next year I might start printing it. It's a tough thing, and I haven't had the time to, but I've done a couple of chapters on it, whatever. But anyway, guys, as I said, David and me under American Acme House Novelties, another company thing. I put together the Area 51 Alien Orb, which is a test tube. It has a glow-in-the-dark thing, and it goes up and down inside the tube with a cork on it. It's a beautiful trick. You can get these through, I think David has it in Amazon under Xanadu, or he has it under Presco, I think. And I got to find exactly if he's listed any, but if not, we're going to be listing it soon because we're redoing the whole, aside for Acme House Novelty, it's going to be attached to House of the Unusual, but that's a part. See, David helps me remanufacture a lot of the products or a lot of the novelties, because the fact that he owned SS Adams for so many years, he's got all the connections I need, which I don't have. This is a newsletter that comes in there. And guys, there's only 2 magic kits left. If you go to Etsy, to House of the Unusual, Chuck Caputo made a special, I think there's 15 or something tricks magic kits inside. He did the magic tricks. I designed the paperwork and boxed it, okay? One of the tricks you're going to get if you buy, you're going to get, it's called the Houdini letter. And comes in free. I designed this, and Chuck did the trick, but I designed this. It came out really, really nice, and it's parchment paper. And what it does is you, say for example, you pick a number, whatever, and I forget, not a number, something Houdini, and you put it over a light bulb or something, and it appears what the choice was or what you picked. It's a very good trick. To read more about it, go into Etsy. In the description, it's more explainable than right now because I haven't looked at the description in a while. It'll explain what it does. And Chuck, you're missing this, Chuck. You don't have a magic wand, Chuck. So if you're listening, you got to get yourself the magic wand, man. This is a magic wand here, guys. Having said that, thank you for listening on. Until next week again, subscribe, listen to our podcast, which airs every Thursday. And from now on, guys, every single Friday, we have Chuck in Chuck's Corner. In fact, he's been publishing. I mean, he's been uploading videos, or I have been uploading the videos for him, but he's been sending me videos every week nonstop for the last 6 months. Every Monday, I'm going to have these reviews. What I do is every Monday, I'll do today's actually not Monday. Today is Thursday. And I'm doing the review that is going to go. That's why you're going to be seeing reviews, because what I'm going to do is 4 parts: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I actually did it 4 separate reviews instead of like one whole and cutting it up. Having said that, guys, thank you. Till next time.
All you cool ghouls and friendly fiends to the House of the Unusual. Join the maestro of mail order mysteries, Eddie Guevara, and Joe Pavlasky from Crypt of Classics as they take you on a journey of magic, mystery, and vintage pop culture. With them is world-renowned horror magician Chuck Caputo and his exclusive line of horror magic kits, only available here. Join in the weekly podcast and hear from industry-leading guests and collectors alike. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for amazing videos. If that weren't enough, visit houseoftheunusual.com and connect on the free forum.